What's up, YouTubers? Welcome to Infinity News, and I'm your host, EJ Cleveland, and I'm back with another one. So today's segment is going to be on the tragic divorce between Andre Young, aka Dr. Dre, and his estranged wife, Nicole Young. Now, for those who have not known, Miss Young had filed a divorce from Andre Young, aka Dr. Dre, a couple months ago, claiming that things are no longer okay and or right, spousal abuse, and him not properly compensating her for her involvement in his financial endeavors with his, music business. So basically, a interview covered by The Blast stated that court documents obtained for Mr. Andre Young, Dr. Dre, has filed a court motion to stop Nicole Young's lawsuit over the trademark to his name as well as the title of his most coveted project, The Chronic. So basically, Miss Young is still trying to be greedy and ask for more money, even though she lost in a recent lawsuit for asking for $2 million in spousal support to take care of her fees. And I don't know if anybody been able to see the list, but it's just absolutely ridiculous, where she was basically asking for $500,000 in entertainment fees and $2,000 for a phone bill and another $500,000 in charity roles and stuff like that. And it was just getting ridiculous, very ridiculous. In that case, she lost that case as well. So I commend Mr. Young for trying to at least fight back and not letting Miss Young or his estranged wife Nicole Young unfairly just take everything that he worked hard to get. But back to the story. Back in August, Nicole filed a lawsuit claiming sole ownership of the trademarks of the Chronic and his moniker name, Dr. Dre, which is absolutely just crazy. But while she accused Dr. Dre, whose real name is Andre Young, which we already know, of transferring the rights to the trademarks into a brand new company, which he is sole proprietor. So in order to thwart Miss Young's lawsuit, Dr. Dre, whether it's legal or not, I'll let somebody else be the judge of that, but he basically tried to transfer all rights to the names of the Chronic and Dr. Dre to an LLC where he personally owned, where that business has ownership of the names. And since he solely owns that company, she cannot claim any type of ownership to his album, which was multi-platinum award-winning album, The Chronic, and his moniker name, Dr. Dre. Sources close to the couple say that since they were married in 1996, the Chronic album dropped in 1992. It doesn't even matter, or isn't even possible, for her to name or to have it as a trademark. They wasn't even married at the time he was using the Chronicle or the Dr. Dre. So how is she sitting there trying to say that I want to claim ownership to her? But here is where the story thickens. However, Nicole Young claims that Dr. Dre didn't file for the trademarks until 1997. What took so long, Dre? So you kind of left yourself vulnerable in that situation, as far as he could have easily, if he was on his grind and on his business, as some movies make proclaimed. I know most people, or I assume most people, have been able to see NWA or Straight Outta Compton movie, who did incredible numbers. And there was also another story that branched off of that, the Michelet story, Surviving Straight Outta Compton, I believe was the title. I could be off, but you guys catching my drift. So with that being stated, Dre spent a lot of time dealing with women and stuff like that. So he showed, or the movie portrayed him being kind of lax as far as his business endeavors and stuff of that nature. And this, as we can see, this is one of the consequences of being lazy, with making sure you're protecting your business and your assets, regardless if you are married or not. You still gotta protect what you invest in and what you put your name in and what you put your hard work into. So back to the story. In the new court documents, Dr. Dre doesn't pull any punches when talking about his estranged wife's recent legal actions. His lawyer wrote, plaintiff Nicole Young, after commencing divorce proceedings against defendant Andre Young, seeking over $400 million, then stealing almost $400,000 from an LLC that funds defendant Dr. Dre's recording studio, draining its entire bank account. Plaintiff Nicole Young has decided that $400,000 and one lawsuit are not enough. She is now suing defendant Dr. Dre, another LLC, in a separate lawsuit. So basically, she's suing him again, even though she sued him for $400,000. Well, she actually sued him for $400 million, then turned around and took. She did not try to lay claim, but she absolutely just took the money out of the account while they were still attached to each other in a marriage. An account, or as I should say, an LLC that has an account that was set aside for Dr. Dre's music endeavors or his creations in the studio. So he set this money aside for when he's doing studio recordings or whatever that may, anything that it pertains to his music side. He set that money account to the side, $400,000, after this woman has already sued for $400 million and just took that away from him. Greedy. And is still trying to ask for more money. So it's just like this is just getting out of hand. So, it's just being greedy, and you don't win or you don't look like you deserve anything when you pull moves like that. Anywho, back to the story. Having the boldness to claim that trademarks to the defendant Andre Young performing name Dr. Dre and to his first solo album entitled The Chronic have been unlawfully transferred from the defendant Dr. Dre to his entirely owned LLC. Ooh-wee. The motion filed by Andre Young also says Dr. Dre is a trademark name that defendant Dr. Dre had used for over 10 years before even meeting plaintiff Nicole Young. As a member of the world-class Wrecking Crew, then as a member of NWA, and then as a solo performer. The title, or the album entitled The Chronic, was a multi-platinum and Grammy-winning album that was released 4 years it was released 4 years before him and Miss Nicole Young were even married. So with that being said, how could you lay claim to something that I have already created? Like, just being fair to both sides. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't in a relationship. Nobody else was in a relationship. Nobody else really knows what happened in that relationship but Miss Young and Dre. So I would like to be as even as possible to both sides. But just reading the article, you can clearly see and you can clearly hear that this woman is not being fair. To sit there and say that you have claim or ownership to a piece of what he has already established is just downright dirty. And she's basically throwing shots below the belt. So at the end of the day, whatever Dre has done to this woman, brother, please work it out. Try to find another way, but protect yourself at the same day, because at the end of the day, had these steps have been taken in the first place to protect your business and your assets, you wouldn't have to be dealing with this in the first place. So whether you did it out of love or you just a quick ditch move to be like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever I can to trap this woman or to stop this woman from taking every last cent that I own or everything that I made myself. Because trying to lay ownership to somebody's name is just wow. And at the end of the day, the tactics that Miss Nicole Young are using against Mr. Dre also shows that she doesn't really have anything of her own to want to take so much from this man, unless you just have piles on piles of proof that this man is cheating You know what I'm saying? Like she had already made statements before that Dre had been physical with her or resorted to domestic violence. I mean, why didn't you seek to have all this already established before? And now that it's in the thick of it, or it's in this most ugliest state, Miss Nicole Young's marriage and Mr. Dr. Dre, or AKA, or his, his government name, Mr. Andre Young, it's just showing that it's just truly ugly at the end of the day. And both parties, at the end of the day, if they value any part of each other or they have any respect for each other, just, keep it above the belt. You know what I'm saying? Keep it very legal. Try to set a good example for the children. And at the end of the day, you still had a family together. You still used to share a home together. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to make this situation as ugly as possible. It doesn't set up for a good friendship or a good co-parenting ship at the end of the day. With that being said, the children that we are speaking of, none of Dre's alleged children or none of Dre's blood-owned children belong to Miss Young, since they do not share any children together. So the children that they have in their relationship are both Mrs. Young children solely. So again, if I was Dre, just simply just buy her a home, brother. Buy her a home, a nice big home. Buy her 2 whips. Say, I'm gonna financially take care of these 2 whips for you, and I'll take care of whatever, you know what I'm saying, services that involve the upkeep of the vehicles, and I'll take care of any upkeep that deals with the house. So with that being stated, give her 6 years of doing it, 5 years of doing it, and that's actually 6 years is being very generous. But hey, 5 years of house upkeep, so anything as far as gardening, cooks, people that do your laundry and stuff like that, maid services and things of that chauffeurs. 5 years, I'll take care of that within reason. Security service, I'll take care of that within reason. But at the end of the day, Ms. Young, you did file the lawsuit, and with that being stated, I'm quite sure you had to understand that whatever financial responsibility that you had to oversee for yourself to make sure that you do not die, because at the end of the day, everybody is responsible for keeping themselves alive. You have the sole responsibility of keeping yourself alive. And in spite with some legal laws that are written or set in place, I do not believe that anybody, be man or woman, has the right to sit there and literally just try to take money from somebody when you are the one requesting to leave. So like I said, I really do hope that this lady, I do not condone physical violence or domestic abuse in any part versus a man or a woman. And at the end of the day, I feel like, that person, whoever, chooses to go down that road, consequences will be severe for you, and you will have to own up to them consequences. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may be a year from now, but understand that, redemption for that person is coming. Justice for that person is coming. So if this is Miss Young's redemption, or, her justice was, going after Mr. Young's or, Dr. Dre's assets like this, just viciously trying to just rape him financially. At the end of the day, brother, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Is exactly what they say. Or if you're not ready for the punishment, say sorry. Apologize. You know what I'm saying? So again, with that being said, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to be up to date when new videos drop. New information is coming to you. And that's it for our segment. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Hey guys, just some quick advertising, and it really helps out the channel if you guys are interested. While starting my YouTube journey, I found out just how much I didn't know about creating YouTube videos and things of that nature. I ran into a company that breaks down most of the do's and don'ts of YouTube. So just like a teacher does when helping you gain knowledge, TubeBuddy will help you step by step and grade your videos. So basically, they'll bust down the things that you need to do in your video to have a great video and get a great response to it. And it grades your video compared to other people's videos on YouTube as well to help give you that competitive edge you're looking for. Whether you're new and don't know and haven't made a video a single day in your life, or you're experienced and you just want to add a little more finishing touches to your game. Also, another great influencer type program is hyper influencer marketing. Basically, if you are looking to be a powerhouse influencer, then there's no other product that's better for you, especially in these new social media products like TikTok, Instagram, and also YouTube as well. They'll give you all the latest secrets that you can become a great influencer yourself. So give it a try. And also, we have Audible. The key to power and wealth is knowledge. Most useful info is in a book. So if you're one of those many people that don't really have the time to read or anything like that, the great thing about Audible is that it's all audio. So you click on whatever book you like, give yourself a listen, and gain knowledge as you go on too. So thanks a lot, guys. Please subscribe, comment, like the video, and I'll hear from you guys later.